Welcome, welcome here on this Monday afternoon. ah, yes, Suge. Yes, we live. And this is going to be a real quick stream. And when I say real quick, I mean extremely quick because this is a patron requested stream by one of my patrons. If you want to join in on the fun, you can as well. Patreon.com/ROUG. And the topic of today's stream is going to be what are the Ravens going to do at the trade deadline? And in my personal opinion, I believe that the Ravens are not going to do a darn thing. We have approximately 27 hours to go, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. 2 hour stream, not. You might not get 10 minutes out of me. Listen. This is what I do for my patrons. This is what I do, but I'm not going to do it long. So we got Brandon in here. We got Yolanda in here. We got Anthony, Mr. T up in here. Yes, Mike. Whoa. Yes. Listen, one of your compadres wanted to know or wanted to get my opinion on camera what we're going to do at the trade deadline. So me personally, knowing the Ravens like I do, or like I feel like I do, I think that we have about approximately $3 million left under the salary cap, which is not a lot to trade for a premium player at this point in time. So there have been many discussions going around about what are the Ravens going to do. Some people said we need linebacker help. I could agree. We could bring in another linebacker, another outside linebacker, especially because we really don't know what's going on with Ojabo and Tyus Bowser. Now, they've been practicing. They're quote unquote healthy, but when will they actually be able to get on the field and contribute? We don't know. Another debate that I've heard is we should bring in a running back. Now, that would be a very Raven-esque move. But I think we have more pressing needs. As we've shown, we can pretty much pull any running back off the street and bring them in and kind of plug and play with these people. Mike says he thinks we need a middle linebacker. I would agree. We do. Listen, Uncle Bynes, he's been doing this thing for a minute, but his body's kind of giving out on him. You know, we could use somebody to come in with some speed, some athleticism, because listen, I know everybody's happy. We're in first place. Take nothing away from them. We're in first place in the division, but come playoff time, is that going to be enough? Brandon says, trade the first for Roquan. Listen, we are in uncharted territories right now as Baltimore Ravens, because right now we have zero, and I mean zero, compensatory picks. I think we have seven draft picks going into next year's draft, and that's not going to sit well with us. Eric DeCosta, he needs as many swings. He needs as many at bats at the plate and as many swings as he can get, because he can't draft. And can we trade for a new coaching staff? I wish. But right now, as I said, we are in first place. And there is not much that teams are going to do when you're winning and you seem to be doing what they want you to do. We got MDT Sports in the house. What's going on, G? Yeah, I know you want Eric DeCosta gone. I want him gone. But some people seem to think that, hey, he's doing his thing. Now, as for this trade deadline, for me and most others, we really do believe. Shut up, Brandon. No baseball. We really do believe that we need a wide receiver, and we need an impact wide receiver, because, hey, we've signed Andy Isabella. We've signed Deshaun Jackson. Nothing. They have not played. We've said this before. And people want to say, oh, well, they need to come and get acclimated, get into football shape. If that's the case, then why did you sign them in the first place? Because there are actually game-ready people that you could have brought into this organization. There are already people who are kind of familiar with the system that you could have plugged and played. They could have helped us out in that first half against Tampa. Luckily, Tampa Bay is an injured bad team, or that might have went a different way. And yes, Yolanda, Andy, who? So for me personally, I think that we need to get a wide receiver. We need to get a stud wide receiver in here. Um, right now, there are three options that are being brandished about uh, for the Ravens to trade for. One of them, and I think that Suge has alluded to it, has been Chase Claypool from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Me personally, that's going to be a no for me, dog. I'm a Randy Jackson. That's a no for me, dog. This guy is 6'4", but he plays like he's 5'5". He doesn't, to me, he doesn't have the heart, and he thinks he's a little bit better than he is. I don't think that he has the heart to be a Raven. And I know he's a Steeler, and most people are going to say, you know what, you kind of have a bias towards him because of it. And maybe I do, but I've seen him play. I wasn't a fan. Everybody knows how I feel about Notre Dame players. They get to the league and they just don't do it. Exactly. MDT Sports says, it's Courtland Sutton for him. Yes, Courtland Sutton. I would take Courtland Sutton. But Courtland Sutton right now is Denver's number one. I think that brings me to the next guy, who would be Jerry Jeudy. I think Denver is trying to move him. It would depend for me on what they want in compensation. Jerry Jeudy, I like him. He has the moves. He can run routes. He has a problem with catching, and that's one thing that most of our wide receivers right now have an issue with, is catching. They can sometimes get open, and when they do, they don't catch the ball. We got my man Brodney in the house. What's going on, Brodney? Thank you for stopping by. This patron requested stream that I don't want to say I was forced into, but it was kind of like, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You need to do this. This is my video request. So here we are. And the third option that I think has been brandished about was Brandon Cook. Brandon Cooks. And as Brodney knows, Brandon Cooks is a reliable receiver. 6 of the past 7 years, he's had 1,000 yards. He's played with a multitude of quarterbacks. He gets the job done. Now this year, I think Davis Mills is kind of failing him a little bit. He's failing me too on these fantasy teams. But Brandon Cooks, I think, would be a reliable option. He still has that speed to get open. He has the pedigree of a number one wide receiver, but I don't think that he needs as many targets. Being that he's been moved around so much, I think that he kind of knows, listen, I'm getting a little bit older. I don't need to be your number one, but I can stretch the field and I can give you those big plays. The only problem with trading for Cooks, Cooks, I agree with you. Cooks probably would be the one, but unfortunately for Cooks, he has 2 years left on his deal. And I think next year's $18 million, or this year's an $18 million hit, and next year's $13 million. Now, for a number one wide receiver in the NFL, you would think 18 and 13 mil, it's not too bad. But you do have to take into account that we are the Baltimore Ravens. We are the Baltimore Ravens. And we don't like paying money for positions that aren't cornerback or safety, as you can see. I don't see us making a move. If we do make a move, it will probably be for a cornerback. I see this team just going cornerback heavy, trying to make sure down the stretch we have enough going forward, because we don't trust what we have. Marcus Peters, I think he's hurt. Marlon's hurt. When is Marcus Williams coming back? I just don't think Baltimore is being aggressive enough on the offensive side of the ball to really make a splash for the playoffs. And yes, please hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Listen, look down, merch store, buy some of that merch. Like, I got this little hot little Jamar Laxon shirt. It's a sugar skull with Jamar. Check it out. Check out what else I have. Like, subscribe, check out my peoples. But it's been 10 minutes, and I've given my allotted time for my stream to my patron. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I appreciate you. You can actually check me out later tonight at 5:30 on all things Ravens all day, every day with Justin P. You can also catch me later tonight with Coach Evans, Chris Just Joking, OTL Mike, Jose and Brodney from Lunch Break Hot Take at 9 p.m. on the Roundtable. Sip to Tally Films. Make sure y'all check it out. But as of for right now, I'm out.